Hello everyone, and welcome back to Navigating the Periphery. My name is Deborah, and this, yes, it is Philip again.
Hello.
How is everyone doing today? If you're into what we're doing on this channel, you know what to do. We want to try and get our message out there and try to reach and help as many people as we can. Navigating the Periphery, we are trying to stop the stigma of a mental health diagnosis, one show at a time. And if you know anyone who could benefit from watching this channel, please help. Spread the word.
Remember, it's okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You are not alone. We're here.
We are. So, Philip, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Mom. How are you doing?
I am good and excited to discuss today's topic. But first, a brief disclaimer. We are not medical professionals.
No, we are not. Our channel is for information and education purposes only, and I'm speaking to you guys out there from my personal life experience with OCD, GAD, and my schizoaffective disorder, mixed type. So please refer to our full disclaimer at the end of this video and every episode that we put out. So Mom, take it away.
Today we are going to navigate the periphery of how Philip's psychosis presented itself in the beginning of 2020, what he saw, and what he experienced. In the early months of 2020, our family became very sick with COVID, with my husband Paul and I becoming seriously ill with the virus. Now, Philip also had COVID, but it was not as serious as how we experienced it.
Yes. And as I've spoken about in previous episodes, I am not sure which trauma affected me more, my mom almost dying from COVID, or me also contracting it and being sick. My first symptoms, there were two main issues: word salad and hearing voices and conversation that were not real. Now, I had dealt with intrusive thoughts with my OCD since I was younger, but this was different. These voices and conversations would command me to do things. We actually did an episode about the difference between intrusive thoughts and auditory hallucinations in the past, and I'll link it in the description box below. Word salad is a jumble of incoherent and random words and phrases. Is a symptom of disorganized speech and thinking, often seen in schizophrenia and other mental health conditions like schizoaffective disorder. So this was concerning.
Now, at this point in time, Philip was already seeing his behavioral neurologist and his clinical psychologist for his OCD. So I brought it up at a visit with his psychologist. She was concerned because his OCD symptoms were kind of crossing over to these other symptoms. I was becoming concerned because it seemed like Philip was hearing and participating in conversations without other people being around. And after 2 months, she suggested he see a psychiatrist, which we did.
I also had a third symptom. About a month after, which was seeing shadowy figures of people. The phenomenon of shadow people is strongly linked to how the brain processes perception, stress, and altered states of consciousness. Shadowy figures are typically visual hallucinations or illusions and can arise from several neurological and psychological mechanisms.
Now, interestingly, research suggests that stimulating the left temporoparietal junction, or the TPJ, in the brain can create the illusion of a shadow person, a phenomenon often heightened in the psychotic disorder. The TPJ plays a role in integrating sensory information and disruptions in this area and can lead to misinterpretations of the body's location and the perception of a second body. However, it was disturbing Philip was seeing these shadow people, so his psychiatrist did a whole workup, including blood work and testing, to rule out issues in his brain such as a tumor, which can also cause these types of symptoms to come on rapidly as well. All in all, Philip had many symptoms along with the auditory hallucinations: the word salad, loss of time, seeing shadowy figures, anhedonia, avolition, and asociality, which we have covered the anhedonia and avolition and asociality in another episode called The Negative Symptoms of Schizoaffective, the 3 A's that Philip struggles with. And we will link that below.
Now, the most fascinating part of this whole manifestation of symptoms is once the auditory hallucinations began, I really have no memory of any parts of the other things. Actually, I have some memories of lucid moments, but not many. My mom thought I was just depressed and antisocial, but my clinical psychologist picked up on the changes in my personality immediately. Then my mom gradually caught on, especially with the loss of time. Me not remembering doctor's visits, the testing, just none of it. From the beginning of April 2020 until the end of September 2020, I remember little clips or snippets of things. But thank God I was under the care of doctors, because by the end of my first bout of psychosis in September, the command hallucinations had me self-harming by cutting and commanded me to, as the voices would say, to unalive myself.
Yes. Thank God. Now at this point in time during COVID, Philip refused to be hospitalized because here in New York, you could not have any visitors due to the lockdowns. So I am very fortunate that my job allowed me to stay at home during his first course of treatment with antipsychotic medications, which were Geodon and Abilify. And thankfully, after 6 weeks or so, the old Philip emerged once again with no real memory of what was occurring.
My psychosis started with subtle changes in how I saw and interpreted the world. I began hearing voices. Sometimes they talked to me, other times about me. I also saw what people often call shadow people, dark humanoid shapes that felt threatening, especially in dim lighting or when I was alone. These experiences felt incredibly real and were accompanied by paranoia and intense fear. At the time, I didn't fully realize they weren't real. So, my friends, that is how my psychosis presented. Now, fortunately, it has not happened to that extreme since then. Now, when I have been super stressed out, like before college graduation, I've heard voices and seen shadowy figures. But I told my mom and my doctors, and my medication was tweaked to prevent another psychotic episode. So, it's important if you recognize feeling different or that something isn't normal to let someone know.
Definitely.
Which is why I wanted to do this episode, to reinforce that message in hopes that it could help someone else.
That was very cool.
Thank you, you're cool.
Definitely. And remember, I'm not definitely cool, just kidding. Remember, you guys, it's okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You guys are not alone. We are here. And that here at Navigating the Periphery, we are trying to stop the stigma of a mental health diagnosis.
Not 3, not 2, but one show at a time.
One show at a time. So until we see you again in our next episode coming really soon, if you feel something or hear something, please say something. It could save your life.
Yes.
It saved yours.
Yes. I'm glad I have you, Mom.
Oh.
And my doctors.
Thank you. Take care, have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.